Just a few weeks out, how are you managing motivation?
Yeah, it's an important piece, right? And we've been going, I think it's, let's say 11 or 12, kind of hit them strongly on Sunday. This idea of not just kind of getting through it, but in truly improving through this week. And I was happy with today, coming off of scrimmage. We got a bunch of reps on Saturday. Thought it was crisp. We're going to go again to the next couple of days in full pads because we need to improve. There's some competition. Kind of described it as a week of separation to the team in regards to depth charts, but also just teams themselves. What team can separate in regards to getting better through these dog days of camp?
What questions did Saturday answer for you?
I thought depth defensively showed up. A lot of guys, a lot of reps there. Played sound defense pretty much throughout, and so that kind of reconfirmed some of our feeling. I think we took some steps in the run game, to be honest with you. There was some quality carries out of the backfield, offensive line doing some stuff, especially in the middle part of the scrimmage, so that was good to see. I think we're progressing there. Still a lot to work on, though.
What about your corners? Did you learn anything about them? I know there's a lot of guys that are in that
A lot of guys,
similar echelon.
and a decent amount of rotation. Generally, on the corner piece, was really pleased with their tackling. They got guys on the ground, balls in the perimeter in space, contested some. Actually caused a fumble on one, so we were pleased with the physicality of the corners.
Anyone jump out to you? You said, "Wow, that's what I was hoping to see."
I think Marcellus continued that inside back room. Marcellus had a really nice scrimmage. Had a turnover there. That was I thought he played at a high level. D-line wise, again, multiple guys, but plays in the backfield kept on showing up, especially in the pass game. We need to get better at affecting the passer, and there's some snaps there. Really, the top two quarterbacks I thought did some good things. First time we kind of did 2-minute drill. That wasn't the best to start the scrimmage, but as those guys settled in, had a couple scoring drives they put together. Unless you had a touchdown throw, so that was good to see.
The offensive line in particular, you mentioned a little bit about the improvement of the run game throughout that. Wondering, do you feel that the five up front are static right now,
Right.
or how deep do you feel?
Yeah, we're still going through close to 10 guys, to be honest with you. One's up, two's up, 10 guys, and multiple ones are playing, not just the same spot, whether right guard and all of that. So that's still up in the air. Back to this idea of separation this week. Guys continue to battle, and somewhat we feel good that we still got 10 guys that are continuing to kind of compete to be that top five.
That's
a good problem, isn't
scrimmage. Is that where this is, where you want to start identifying those? I'm thinking more along the offensive line, but across the board.
Yeah,
those five,
we're going to scrimmage the second time this Saturday. We got I think it's 1 or 2 practices after that, and then we'll start to solidify, and everything transitions from kind of training camp to our first opponent.
Health-wise coming out of the scrimmage, and we haven't seen Jack.
Tight end wise.
Health-wise, and we haven't seen Jack participating. Just wondering about him.
Yep, he's getting closer. He's been getting close to running full speed, so we anticipate him maybe, whether into this week, but still pretty confident he'll be ready game one. We've got a few guys that been safe with, or they need a couple of days off, that type of thing. Knock on the wood, we haven't seen the long term injury.
For guys like Jack, that this isn't their first rodeo for camp, but one, how much of that is just knowing that you can keep some of those veteran guys back, and two, how much does that benefit the younger guys to get those reps like Masanas? And
There's some trickle-down effect, yes, if they're not taking as many older guys, that the younger guys are getting more turns. There's something, about knowing it, but Jack's still going to need to catch up physically, speed of play, crispness, and so we want to get him back sooner than later for that reason.
Have you noticed any separation in kicker yet? They've asked you about that.
Really, no, because a couple of them have missed a little time, have gotten tight with their groins and all that, so we're trying to be smart with it. Hopefully you get those guys back up and going into the week.
How many of the 22 positions, Jonathan, do you know for sure who's going to start?
Yeah, I mean, not probably. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Half of them. I mean, I think on the receiver side, we got a pretty good idea on the first couple, but that third spot's still pretty competitive. Again, we're gonna rotate on defense, but I think there's a couple of guys on the line of scrimmage and inside backer that are gonna get the most playing time. But I don't know a certain number.
What's that push-pull like as a head coach, John, when you're in a scrimmage and
both sides probably can't do well at the same time.
I know.
What's that like?
I mean, you can't, and so like you described in the scrimmage, oh, it was good. Well, one side, yeah, probably overall, if you looked at it, defensive probably had an upper hand, just the way they started and finished. There was some quality pushback and play from the offense. You're looking for that, like clean play, procedurally early in the scrimmage, not great offensively. That got way better. So you're looking for those things to like stay on sides. And overall, penalty wise, I mean, we had a whole Big Ten crew out there. Penalty wise, I thought that was pretty clean. So I liked that about the scrimmage. We got a good amount of work on the special team side, punting, kickoff, return, and there was some quality reps there.
Is the whole thing live or part or so you mixing them up?
We did 2 minute that was not live. Everything else, I think we got close to 100 snaps of live tackle.
The defensive line, you went out and obviously got a bunch of edge rushers.
Yeah.
How did those guys look in there? And then when you look at the guys in the trenches, that seems like, is that maybe your deepest area right now with the interior defensive line?
Interior defensive line, we're pretty deep. I mean, we got some guys there. So even the young ones, really like Derek, where Mike Sean's coming along, and if you got some of the veterans in front of them, I think they're talking to you guys here in a bit. But like the additions, Cam, Isaac, they've contributed. At that kind of rush edge position, along with Gilly's coming along, and Anelu, feeling that we have options there. That's competitive. This is another week for see who kind of steps up in that spot.
The interior defensive line, when you have a group that has a lot of guys coming back, you add a guy like Grady, Derek Simmons, one of your top recruits, like when you have that sort of foundation for the defense that okay, we've got this taken care of, what does that do for the rest of the guys that you have something you can rely on?
Well, particularly for that position, we want them playing all out every snap, go to get tired because they know someone's coming in and it's a really quality player, and we want to rotate that position and they play that hard. And then again, this game starts up front, so it starts at the interior of the offense and defense, and those guys, we're going to count on in a big way.
Is that a position that requires, the size, the speed, it has a unique athleticism to it. Is it hard to sort of build a stock of those guys where it's not just guys who can play, but have the ability to really make that impact?
Yeah, sometimes that takes a little time, that girth, that strength, the physicality, the wear and tear. There's a bunch of technique, and Lane's coming in here. Best I've been around in that regard, because there's a lot, and that's why we want to be a place of development and get some guys that are younger side to grow into that. It's not going to always just happen overnight.
We used to ask D'Antonio around this time if there were any guys that switch positions where you maybe say, I need to get this guy on the field right now, let's find a way to. Is there anybody that maybe?
Right. I don't know about position switch, not to this point. I think we'll get through this week. I think, especially on defense, some situational guys like getting on the field to rush the passer might take place. Maybe not as much first down, but third down, he's showing up. We got some guys like that.
Is there any of the true freshmen who've kind of popped a little bit?
Yeah, Jaden Savory's made some plays, caught a touchdown in the scrimmage, true freshman wise. What I like about him, we always felt like his athleticism is going to be top notch, but he's showing some physicality in the run game. He's showing up liking that. I think Jace is carrying it, learning more and more of the physical brand of carrying the ball, not just with using his skill set. And I think he's grown. Had a couple good carries of putting his foot in the ground and getting 4 or 5, or maybe early in camp he's apt to bounce it. Those two guys stand out.
You're talking about development. Before you came out here, we were talking about some of the great walk-ons that have come through this program, and with the 105 limit and walk-ons sort of being phased out here, I'm curious as a coach, and now that you see scrimmages and then the season starting, what effects that might have on sort of these long-term development projects that feels like we always talk about?
Yeah, I'm a fan of having walk-ons, being one myself, opportunity, the contribution they make. And there's plenty of story, right? The walk-on that comes and turns into a really good player, started for a couple of years, but there's plenty of story of just being great for the culture, whether it's scout teams, special teams contribution, all those guys matter. And we're trying to keep them around as much as we can.
You said you liked some of the things you saw in the run game. Can you expand on that a little bit?
We had some efficiency on first down. I'm not saying it was overly explosive. We didn't have a bunch of like 30, 40-yard runs, but we had some quality 5, 6, blocked cleanly, getting the ball to the second level, right? Forcing the secondary make the tackle, not just the D-line and linebackers. We're getting those guys covered up. I like that part of it.
You mentioned red zone for a second. What did you see from that on Saturday?
We kind of ended the scrimmage with a little competition thing in the red zone. Defense made a few stops. They scored a couple of times. We start the ball on the 25, and so that's an important part. I mean, the difference 7 3 or 0 points in that range, game-changing stuff. So obviously, back to the question, like, oh, well, offense, defense, we obviously want to try to score. We got to clean up a couple things, but defense did a nice job on some stops.
Who's in competition for that third receiver spot? You talked about?
Oh, yeah, Rodney for sure, McCray getting himself back. Collier's had a good camp. He had a nice catch, kind of nice catch today. Boyd's been limited for about a week, and so we want to get him back going full speed. I think all those guys would be around that third spot.
Nick and Omari being 1 and 2.
Right.
You mentioned some freshmen. Are there anyone that stand out, like as far as maturity, the student of the game?
Right. It's tough to maybe single out one or two. I'm just trying to think.
Maybe overall, how do you like that?
I do like our group of freshmen. We sat in there. I mean, I mentioned I think Derrickson before. Derrickson would be a really good Cal, the physical brand of ball that we like his future over the next couple of years. Mentioned Jaden, even some of these old linemen. I mean, this thing ain't easy at old line, just starting out. But Tone's had some good reps. Drew, so we like the group.
What impresses you about Simmons, Jonathan, and how difficult is it for a guy just out of high school to come in and play at this level?
Yeah, well, one, he physically has the tools, and he's close to playing what you need to play in this Big Ten at the line of scrimmage. Smart, and he plays with great effort. I mean, he's actually a little more elusive for his size, interior D lineman, elusive. He has a little bit of a pass rush game.
When you mentioned about the guys, the freshmen, the second and third year guys, is there anybody that's taken like a major leap where it maybe showed on Saturday?
I think Alessio has. I mean, he knows this offense. He's playing with anticipation, being smart with the ball. Just think about a second-year guy. He stands out. I think the two backs being in their second year, Mackay, Brandon, they've grown, and they had some solid carries, being the second year kind of in the offense.
Does Alessio's development, how much does that help Bushy?
Yeah. Well, hopefully it is. He's pushing them and he's seeing the play at it. Those two work so great together, and let's face it, you need more than one quarterback, more than one at every position, and we're feeling pretty good where Alessio is trending.
You guys gonna vote on
That's on for coach.
You gonna vote on captains the same way as a year ago?
Thinking so, yeah. Maybe ask a few leaders on the team if they think that's the best operation. We've done that for quite a while, and so as of now, that's the plan.
Thanks, coach.